broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey y'all! Welcome to AfterBuzz TV. This is the 100, Season 3, Episode 4. Watch the Throne. Welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome for the first time.
Welcome to our crazy little family.
Yeah. I am Tari J. Miller, and I'm joined by Alexis Torres.
Hey everybody, you can find me on social media and all those kind of platforms at atorres890.
Nice.
Where can I find you, Tari?
You can find me at Tari J. It's TAURIJAY. Also, if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. If you're on iTunes, make sure to give us all those stars. Yep, it's stars on iTunes.
Stars, and you got the thumbs up.
We're also available on SoundCloud as well. So make sure you go to all the platforms and do the thing. Great.
Do that thing.
Do that thing.
Do that thing. You know who isn't doing their thing? A lot of people on the 100. Guys, I'm going to give you a forewarning now, because a lot of people in the chat heard me earlier, but if people are just joining us now, which I'm very happy that you're here, I'm very upset. There's a lot of things I'm very upset about this episode, so just be ready. Tari has already given me the warning to not curse. Yeah. Because all I did was it was just expletives.
We got to keep it PG, girl.
I know, I'm sorry. Even though the show's not PG, but I will do it for our podcast. But there will be a lot of floats coming out of my mouth.
There's a lot of feelings happening right now.
I was angry, I was happy, I was crying. There was a lot going on. I'm surprised there's still makeup on my face after all that.
It was a really good episode.
It was. And it drove a lot of emotions for me in a good and terrible way. But yeah, no, the 100 Riders, which we always talk about every episode and every season, that it's just always so good. Yeah. Ben Bateman and Erin could not be with us today, which sends your love to Erin because she was going through some rough stuff. So please send her at, I think it's Love Erin Lane. Yes. At Twitter, and then I think it's like Everyone Needs Pie or something like that. There's pie involved, and it's great. And then Ben Bateman Media. I thought there was something with pie. Was it cheesecake?
It's Eat Cake.
I was thinking about pie. I'm hungry, guys.
Anyways, yes, and you can get Ben Bateman at Ben Bateman Media.
Cake.
All
I'm broken,
right.
guys. This episode has broken me.
Well, let's hang out in the Coalition Lex's world. What I like to call Lex's Choice.
Oh man, there was a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was very multifaceted.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. I love that we started out with essentially a betrayal / coup. You know.
That was nuts.
Yeah. The moment she had settled into her newfound union, we get everyone losing faith in her.
But it was crazy how quick it was, and also the fact that we were talking about last week of how she just Spartan kicked someone out of a tower, and she was like, anybody else gonna question my... And everyone sat down and didn't say anything, and then all of a sudden, we're all against the commander.
Well, yeah, because they were in the presence of the Ice Queen, so they felt a little more security. And I will say that the Ice Queen had a lot of presence.
Guys, as much as it hurts and it pains me that she's gone, the actress, which I'm blanking on her name right now, fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, yeah. She was my favorite, and I'm really sad that she's not here anymore. Spoiler alert. But, yeah.
I mean, I think she'd steal the show.
Oh, she already did for me for, what, an episode or two? Or 1.5, because she was only at, the very end of one of them. But,
right.
What? She was great.
She was so good.
Yeah.
And I loved the politics that were going on.
Yes.
I love that she was willing to sacrifice her own son.
Well, I mean, we got a glimpse of the fact that she banished her own son for stupid reasons. So, yeah. Saw that coming.
Yeah. But, I mean, she played it really well. What I really like about that dynamic between Rowan and the Ice Queen is that he is desperate to be accepted. He's desperate to just join his people, and he's willing to do anything. And she's taking advantage of that. But it's also the way that the Grounders role. That's how every Haida, or what do they call?
Yeah, Haida. You're right.
Commander.
Yeah,
all the commanders run is they'll always do what they feel is best for their people, and for her, it's like she's going to take her best fighter and she's going to make him fight in her honor.
As an example.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, and he didn't seem excited. Like he said, he wasn't surprised. But I was surprised at the fact that he didn't, I mean, at the time, because we didn't know what was going on, that I was surprised that he was able to just kind of go, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I mean, mostly just because of politics and that he has to do it.
Yeah.
But, whoa. But
Calm down.
Sorry, I was so excited. But the fact of just, in general, how, yeah, it was kind of crazy because I thought he was just going to kill her like right then and there, and then with the whole Clark thing, I thought it was going to go in a totally different direction.
Yeah,
so,
this guy's always scheming.
That's what kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Really?
Is the fact that he's always scheming, but because I don't know what team he's on. He's like a double triple spy at this point, so I don't really know. I'm like, who are you in favor for? Because I'm like, I get that you were, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but you were canoodling with the commander at one point, and then with Clark, and I'm just like, where are you going? I don't know what you want besides that you want to be part of your own people.
Right. Well, I mean, he up until the end of the episode, he was essentially out for himself. Mm-hmm. He was a bounty hunter /
because he was banished.
Yeah. So of course he's going to do what's best for him, but now that he is kind of in a position of power, he has a little more room to, or I guess we have a little more room to watch him grow to see what kind of leader he is, or if he's a team player, or if he's going to keep double-crossing people. Yeah,
and that's the one thing that, at least from what I was getting so far, because again, we don't really know much about Prince Rowan. Yes. Is that the fact that he looks like he's mostly, all he cares about is getting back to his homeland or home clan and just being there. I don't really know what else past that he really actually cares about. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
He knows a lot of knife tricks, though. That's his thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just, when I saw him take the spear, I was just like, we're going to have a Game of Thrones moment. It's going to be real bad.
Before we jump to the fight.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Because that fight was awesome, and I just
it was my favorite part.
Really
it was my favorite part of the whole episode.
Yeah. I want to talk about Clark's Clark and Lexa kind of leading up to it. Mm-hmm. I guess for me, my main struggle with this whole thing is that Clark is doing everything that she can to essentially stop Lexa from fighting.
Yeah,
and
she wasn't doing a very good job, though.
No. I mean, she was doing her own Clark
she was trying to do Clark. It was kind of terrible, but at the same time, we knew what her intentions were.
Right.
So,
but I mean, Lexa is right in that we hadn't seen her fight before that.
Yeah, we've seen her train, like, especially in this season, but I don't think that was, when she brought it up, I was like, oh yeah, we haven't seen her fight, but I'm assuming she must be good if she's a commander.
Right. So, I mean, do you feel like Clark was in the right in any way, or do you think that...
No, it's not that she was in the right or she was in the wrong. She was looking out for her own, and obviously her feelings were also part of that. Because even though she was like, you can go float yourself, it's still, you can see that she obviously deeply cares about it. And then she's also thinking about, like, okay, what would happen if, let's say, the commander or Lexa, does lose the match and she dies? What happens to her people?
Right.
What happens to the that whole thing? So she's also thinking of her people, plus her, plus Lexa. There's a lot of levels.
Yeah.
So I don't think she was in the wrong or the right. She was just kind of just going with the flow. To a point.
Right, but then at the same time, it shows her complete and utter lack of faith in Lexa.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't blame her for that, though, because she backstabbed her in the finale of season 2. So.
Right, but she backstabbed her being a good commander. She didn't there's personal feelings in
that's what I'm saying. It's just, I think it's hard, she's put up that wall to a point with the trust, so she's like, I don't trust that you got this, but I'm going to let you do it because I have no choice.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's still torn either way. Mm-hmm. So that's why I can get. That's why I said it's not good or bad.
Yeah.
Because either way, she wouldn't have been able to control the situation even if she tried.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I think Clark did okay.
I mean, yeah. She did the best she could, especially with that assassination attempt.
Oh, Lord of mercy! I was sitting there going, okay, Clark. I know that you're a bad A. Like, I get that. No. Ben's a badass last time. Yeah. She was a badass. Lexa's a badass. That's fine. And I think it's great that she was like, I'm going to take matters into my own hands, kind of, because technically Rowan was one who was like, hey, I can't do it. Well, you do it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think Clark forgets that even though she's done the sneaky thing before and assassinated people and whatnot, that these people have been on the ground longer, so
Right.
they can tell. They have tells, like it's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact that she went into there trying to be sneaky McSneakers in, and it didn't work out for her.
Yeah. Well, Clark has never been
She's never been that-
sneaky.
yeah.
She only deals in mass death. That's her deal.
No, it wasn't. I'm having a hard time remembering, but I feel like there was at one point in time where she like actually like assassinated somebody without people really knowing what was
The
going
only
on.
time it was Finn. R.I.P.
That doesn't count. I don't. Okay, I'm okay.
I mean, that's the closest thing.
yeah, that
Every
was the
other
most
time-
sneakiest thing that I can think of off the top of my head. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I feel like there was something in Mount Weather, but I could be wrong. I might be thinking of something else.
Perhaps.
Yeah, but anyway, long story short, Clark has never really been subtle.
Yeah.
So I was like, I feel like this isn't going to go in her favor, especially when they cut back to, gosh, her name starts with an O.
Oh, yes, Antari.
Antari? Yeah.
Yes, Antari.
Antari!
And like just. Yeah.
Ooh, oh, you were trying to get dirty. I see what you were doing there. Ben,
what you're talking
Ben and Aaron
about.
leave, and then all of a sudden it's After Buzz After Dark, apparently.
always after Buzz after dark.
But yeah, I think that. Sorry, that was just weird. I've always just. As soon as that shot came up where she was kind of like leaning, like, what's she doing? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Clark, you're going to do something real stupid, aren't you? This isn't going to work out. And then she, like, yelled, and I was like, you done goofed.
Yeah.
You done goofed, Clark.
Though in my mind, she could have just stabbed her. Like,
I thought it was weird that she didn't do
yeah,
that.
it was like she tried to be so subtle, whereas when she was going after Lexa, she went straight for the throat.
She did.
But-
but there was a little bit more passion in that one than it is with the Queen, which, again, that's where personal feelings come into play, where she
Right.
was just running on adrenaline and emotion. This one, she's trying to be tactical, even though it didn't really work out that way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's rough, but I think that she tried, A for effort.
Yeah.
But I feel like there should have been a different plan that way. But I mean, I
Right.
like that she studied the blood oath. She figured out that this was a good way to do that, unless Rowan just kind of gave it to him, like,
I'm
there's
sure,
a blood
yeah.
oath. I mean, I was hoping that she probably did something to that nature, but yeah, I forgot that he was able to think about that. So
Yeah.
never mind, I'll retract my statement and move on.
I mean, she executed it, so that was nice.
kind of.
Yeah. But ultimately, it still led to the big fight, which
Which is what we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would have been anticlimactic if the
We didn't
Queen
have a
had-
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Though part of me did think that at some point, like, maybe Clark would have taken someone's place and it would have been like Clark versus Lexa or
I
Clark
thought-
versus Ronan.
I don't know how you guys feel about it in the chat, so, I have it up, so please throw in your theories about this. I thought that when Lexa got thrown to the ground and it was like, oh, this is it, Clark was going to run in with some sort, like, she was going to run into where
Yeah.
he punched a guard and took his spear. I thought she was going to do the same or something of that nature and then jump in.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen,
Right.
but I'm glad that it didn't, because
Yeah.
I just wanted to see Lexa be that badass and kick some major ass.
Yeah, Lexa don't need nobody help.
Lexa don't need nobody.
Yeah, Lexa don't need nobody. Since you brought it up, I would hate to be that guard.
Can you
who's like,
imagine?
I would have given you the spear. You didn't have to hit me.
You could have just said something. Just be like, spear. Oh, all right.
yeah,
Yeah, here you go.
Literally what I'm here for.
But it was so funny because he's like, can you imagine him getting up for work? Just being like, all right, hun, I'm off to go to guard, not guard, but like, it's funny
Yeah.
because both Tari and I are martial artists, so we have to do point fighting.
Right.
So you're the person who's watching the fight and you're just kind of there to do points, but he was just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to sit and be part of the entourage and just kind of hang out.
Yeah.
And then he comes up, what happened to you? Were you in the battle? I was for a second.
Yeah, I got a moment of glory.
Yeah, you should have seen it, hon. It was great. Like,
Almost died. I'll tell our children about it.
yeah, but like it was. I liked that they threw that in there instead of
Yeah.
him just like taking it or asking him to throw it or somebody throwing in
Yeah.
a weapon. He actually just sat there and was just like, "You,
Yeah.
give it."
It made it a lot more brutal. Like, this fight was insane.
It was crazy.
Yeah, like you could tell a fight is going to be really good when the frame rate changes.
Okay, I wasn't the only one that noticed that. I was
No.
like, does this look like it's a little different?
Yeah, like
Okay.
they pulled out all the stops.
Exposure was completely different
Oh,
too. I
yeah.
was like, you guys brought in a totally different camera for this, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like I felt like they got some of the Arrow. Like, you watch Arrow as well.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they got some of the Arrow stunt coordinators
Yeah, it
to
makes
get in
sense.
there because the double sword fighting was great. The spear fighting was great.
Also, I think that I'm also again blanking on this actor's name, but Lexa's the actor or actress. She looks like she's been training because you can see the way that she has a stance and she has the way she's holding the swords are actually pretty correct.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's more toned than how also she's wearing a lot of armor usually in her scenes, but like we actually got to see her like in pants and a shirt and like no armor completely on her shoulders, and she was just, it was nitty and gritty, and I love that she brought back the black makeup from second season, which was great. But you can see that she's obviously gone through like crazy stunt coordinating training for it because you could see it in her body and how she moves, and I thought that was great. Same thing with Prince Ronan too.
Yeah,
it was good.
I mean, we had a chance to see him fight beforehand.
Yeah, which I like that Clark even brought that up of how like he took out 3 men before the first one fell, and I was like, ooh, what a good example. Yeah. Again, 100 writers every single time. It's I think it's great.
Yeah, they're planting those seeds. So I also like. Nope, I'm not gonna make my comparison.
Oh, okay.
Because it super duper spoils a movie.
Oh, please don't do it.
Yeah,
you know how much I hate spoilers, which I did to myself today.
How dare you?
I know.
But I loved that. Essentially, everything turned on the queen because we knew that she was this ultimate threat.
Yeah, she was the one that was, being the puppeteer at that point. Yeah.
So Lexa just straight up murks her with the spear.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And also, might I add, the actress died beautifully too. That was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a hair out of place.
Not a hair out of place. Her eyes were all bright. Like, they were like, okay, shine it in this angle. Boom, got it. Like, it was great. But, I mean, besides that, it was a turn that I was sitting there going, like, what are they doing? Why aren't you killing them? Oh, my God, they just killed the Ice Queen.
Oh, yeah.
And I was afraid that they were going to revolt and get mad at Lexa, but then the queen died, and then everyone was just like, yay! And I was like, okay, I guess we're going with it then. Well, he is your new king. Cool.
If you kill a commander, you gain their powers.
No, I know. I knew that, and I was more worried because he becomes king.
Right.
So I was like, how's this gonna work now? Is this gonna be okay? You cool with this? No. All right, cool. Well, I guess we'll figure it out. Next episode.
Well, yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, I have so many things to talk about for next episode too.
Oh my gosh.
When predictions come up.
We're gonna get there.
Guys, I haven't. Nope. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because I will start crying. So go ahead.
No, I mean, I think that it's definitely unfolding in a favorable manner. Like, because up until now, the Ice Nation was pegged as our big bad for the season.
But I like that they're not our big bad.
Yes.
I think that's really great that we've had this kind of twist, and I like the fact that with the show we've decided that we've always known that we were our own worst enemy, but now we actually have that within our own walls of Arcadia.
Yeah.
So I think so mad about it, but I like this is the main problem, at least with Arcadia and what's happening.
Yeah.
In the clans instead of dealing with with the Ice Nation.
Yeah, because essentially that would be a little bit of retreading ground between the first and second season, where we have them against a group of grounders.
And now it's a group of people. Mount Weather. Now it's within our own people who are part of the Ark and have been jaded by surviving.
Yeah.
I don't know who said it in the chat, but they were just like, adults just be messing up since day one. And I was like, I agree, because it's true.
Yeah. Anyone saying anything cool in the chat?
A lot of people are asking about, mostly talking about Bellamy, which we will definitely get into. Really did not see Lexa spearing the queen. That was Mary J. Grievous. She wasn't really there for long. No, and like we talked about that, we were kind of sad we didn't get to see her for a little bit longer. And then mostly Bellamy. The overhyped Ice Queen, she was like in 3 seconds. I know, but it's okay because it was a distraction from the real problem that's happening within our walls, which I think is great. Which is funny because that's what they were saying. The enemy's not here; they're out there, and I'm like,
nope,
no, it's not. Again, we'll get to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good time to jump into that.
Go ahead.
In that, so just to set the scene, we have Mount Weather destroyed. Arcadia is in disrest. Yep, unrest.
Yeah, no, you're correct. I understood what you meant. I knew what you were going for.
Now that they're having a memorial for all the farm station people,
which is necessary.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was like, okay, there are only 2 people who are really pissing me off in Arcadia, and it's mostly Jasper and obviously Pike.
Yes.
But I've added a third. to that list, and we will get there. So I think
Yeah.
we should talk about Jasper and Monty for just a split second before we continue through Arcadia.
Yeah. So Jasper wanders off on his own. Monty follows because he's a good friend, and they end up back at the
done.
drop ship. And
That was nice to come back to. That was a lot of
Yeah.
nostalgia for me, where I was like, one, holy crap, that season was bananas. Two, it's nice to see the dropship still there and it's just kind of become part of the Earth. I think
Yeah.
it's really awesome. And three, Jasper's just a hot mess.
he's gone kind of insane,
Yeah.
but he can't compartmentalize his issues.
No, because he's just kind of living off pain right now.
Right.
Which is part of grieving. I know that a lot of people are like, Jasper's stupid, he's an idiot. And I'm like, people grieve in different ways.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really serious, and sometimes it's more of you just getting angry and then moving on. Everybody grieves differently.
Yeah.
And Jasper is taking it to a whole different level. I'm still angry about it, but, I liked that Monty kind of had to tough love him through
Yeah.
this whole situation and the fact of... So... I was an idiot, and we can talk about this for a split second, that
All right.
I was like, when Monty found the canister in Jasper's backpack, and he opened it, and he pulled out a tooth, I was like, oh, why does he have Maya's ashes in his
Yeah.
backpack? That's weird. And then someone was, I can't remember who it was in the chat, but they were like, oh, how dare he bring Finn's ashes to there? And I'm like, Finn? Why would Finn's ashes be there? But I realized that we were watching a little bit behind the East Coast feed for
Yeah.
everyone, that then the scene came up with Monty and Jasper, and I was like, oh, whoops. And so I felt bad because I told Tari, I was like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, no, it has to be Maya's ashes. Would they know that
Right.
it's Finn's tooth? Are we just not big enough fans to know that it's not Finn's tooth?
Everyone can recognize Finn's tooth.
Except for the two of us,
Yeah.
apparently. And then we realized, no, they said
No,
it
they
in the
say it.
episode. And I was like, oh.
It was a good moment. Spoilers.
I love how they always bring up Finn randomly. It's already season 3. He's been dead for so long.
Well, because he's still a part of that world.
No, and I think
He's-
it's great.
Yeah.
I think you guys know how much I love Finn, but
Right.
like it's so funny how he just pops up out of nowhere, and
no
I'm like,
one's
just
bringing
bring
up
him back,
Wells. No one's bringing up Wells Jr.
guys. Yes, why are we not bringing him back? Hashtag bring Wells back. Bring Wells Jr. back.
He's supposed to be the chosen one.
He was supposed to be the chosen one, and then he got
Yeah.
chosen by a knife.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, I know.
I mean, they both got chosen by a knife.
They
I'm
did
just saying.
actually, and it's just apparently that's a theme.
But yeah.
The knives.
And I think that Jasper
100
kind of
knives.
had a point in that Clark has a body count, and all of them really
They all have
have
a body count.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
And I mean, but Monty also had a point in that they're not all externalizing their pain. They're trying to keep moving forward. It's kind of what Clark said, is in that she deals with the living, not the dead.
And I think that's crazy
Yeah.
to me, but it just makes sense for the whole season. And I love that Monty was just kind of like, oh gosh, I forgot the line completely, but about just like getting his life together or do it alone. And I
Right.
was just like, oh, that cuts really deep. But it makes sense because he's just pushing everyone out. So why even try?
Yeah.
You know? And then I love how he was pretty drunk at this point, obviously, because he passed out. But I love how he was just like, "You're leaving," and I'm like, "What did he just?" Jasper, come on, buddy. And then obviously the heartbreaking moment of him tripping as he's yelling at Monty and he drops Finn's ashes. And
Yeah.
it was crazy how that effect just like, and he just, and the acting again of him just violently sobbing over the fact that he knows that he floated up. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the word that I was
Yeah,
going
yeah,
for.
yeah.
He floated up pretty hard. I said I was going to use it because I would have said the other word.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to because I promised Tari.
Yeah.
And my producers.
You're being really good about it.
Thanks.
I owe you a cookie after the show.
Yay, cookies! Sorry. Okay. continue.
But woo! I find it. I love that this is the moment that he hit rock bottom, though.
But that's what he needed, though. He
Yeah.
needed a realization of, you can't act this way anymore. We understand that you've gone through a great loss. Everybody, like what Abby actually said, which is the first time I've actually agreed with what Abby has said, we have all lost people.
Yeah.
So you can't pick and choose. And again, that's the terrible part of pushing people out when you're grieving, is that you don't realize how much more damage you're actually doing to yourself and others. And just instead of you just being upset and sad.
Right.
And eventually you go through that, and then if you sought proper help with a therapist and whatever, then you would realize that. But this is not how this world works.
I don't think there are very many therapists on
No, I don't think that's
Earth.
how that works. But
Yeah.
I loved that he had to. I mean, it sucks, but I love that he had to go through something so heart-wrenching to realize I need to clean myself up. I'm hoping that this is it. It'll probably be a slow process, but he's starting.
I mean, I think that the next episode will kind of be him
Sobering up, probably.
Yeah, sobering up, realizing, maybe doing some apologizing. He'll still mess up here and there, but I think
he's still gonna be his
yeah.
mean self for right now, but he's baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, back at Arcadia.
Oh my god, you can go ahead, 'cause oof.
Well, I mean,
so we're having the memorial.
Yeah, we're having the memorial.
There.
Yeah, and I want to talk about like Bellamy and Sheena real quick, because it was rough. Everyone is always talking about Bellark and blah 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 blah, but like he actually felt a lot of emotions for her, and it's like he said, like she was real. She was a relationship he had established after so much heartache and turmoil and pain, and now she's gone. She's just another casualty of the war he's been fighting since the moment he dropped down.
Yeah, and I just feel like we've already lost so many from not like stupid decisions, but just decisions in general. So the fact that it's more on him because of the fact that he trusted somebody that he thought was on their side. And again, I also agree with every single person this is, including Pike, the fact that he's like, it's not your fault. It's, we were all in this boat.
Yeah.
We were all part of this. They were part of our, our clan and our families and our decisions and this. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And again, another part of grieving, you make stupid decisions, which is what Bellamy did the whole entire time.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you can't really blame him for being easily swayed at this point.
No. I mean, again, I'm upset that he hasn't woken up, which we're going to find out obviously next episode, that he realized, oh, I did a dumb thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I will still be upset. But it's the fact that he's not thinking straight, which is also what Pike is doing.
Yeah.
They are letting their emotions take over big decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows that that's usually not a good thing. That's why, we tell people, if you're having an emotional day, don't drive.
Right.
Things like that. Like, take a minute, do what you got to do, and then move.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Obviously.
And Pike, in a way, his feelings are justified.
They are. Completely.
His execution of those feelings.
Oh, you guys should have seen. You guys should have seen Tari and I just being like, "What is happening? Is this just okay?"
My issue is that like he's been basically Darth Sidiousing Bellamy this whole episode. He's
it's
like,
been so
"Come to
bad.
the dark side.
We have cookies."
Yeah, and I would be okay with this if Bellamy hadn't already worked so closely with the Grounders.
That's what I wanted to bring up. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, go
but
for
like
it.
that's what makes me the most angry. That is not even how the phrase works.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what angers me the most.
Yes.
That's what the phrase is of Bellamy's actions, is the fact that his sister was accepted into the Grounder environment and family and whatever, and he's seen it. He's been with. I mean, obviously we understood what happened when Lincoln first showed up, and now Lincoln's technically kind of part of family at this point. So the fact that because he lost his love, which again was only 3 months, which is rough, and I get that, but you had, I don't know how much time has passed in the whole scenario, but like you've been with these people for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So the fact that you just turn on them is mind-boggling to me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like a switch flipped in his head, and he's like, one bad Grounder equals all bad Grounders.
Which doesn't... you should know better.
Yeah.
That's not how that works. There's obvious reasons of why we have an alliance and a truce with this Grounder clan and not this one because it tried to kill us.
Exactly.
But that's why Lexa has sent us an army to keep us... to keep the peace.
Yeah. A protection squad, and he's like, yeah, I'll get you some guns to kill this protection squad.
That the fact that you know people who are in it, Indra is the one who is in charge. She has saved your butt. She was in the truck with you when you were going to find Clark. And you're just gonna sit there and go, no, we have to do something.
Right.
No, you don't. These are human beings that you have had some sort of relationship with in some way, shape, and form, whether it was war or conversation or whatever, and you just decide to just blow we don't know what actually happens until next episode, but
Right.
you just decide to go with someone who obviously hates grounders
Yes.
to kill them. What?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It's a really odd choice.
Yeah, but I know what they're trying to do, and it's gonna cause Bellamy to go into a different type of shock, and it's gonna suck. But
Yeah.
it's too late now, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh. Guys, I wish you could have seen us while we were watching. It was just a lot of me pounding into the table. Like my knuckles actually hurt from hitting the table so much, and Tari and I just being like putting our hands up in the air, going, what's happening?
I just couldn't believe it.
It was hard. It was hard to believe.
Yeah.
It was.
And like the fact that I was saying when we were watching, like the fact that it could draw us in this much emotionally means that like it's really
in
well.
the show.
We're vested. It's really well done. It's just it like bothers us on a human level that like we have all these fallible creatures and they're just messing up.
But like it's very interesting because everyone's talking about it, which I'm really glad that you guys are talking about this because I wanted to know what you guys felt. But I love how a lot of people are like they're using Bellamy to move the plot along, which we all know that we're all smart people, we know this.
Right.
But the fact that a lot of people are like, we understand. Like Amy R was like, I can understand if they were attacking Ice Nation themselves, but it doesn't make sense for you to charge at Indra's clan, which is what I'm mostly upset about because I'm like, these are people who are supposed to be helping us. Why would you hurt them? Yeah. What's the point of that? And that's what when we have the Lincoln scene near the end of the episode, I was just like, or the middle of the episode, where I was like, Lincoln's been your buddy this whole time. You guys were just sparring a few days ago. Yeah. I don't understand. And it upsets me to no end. My legs are shaking because I'm so upset right now because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, but the Bellamy piece aside, I think that I still feel like I understand where Farm Station is coming from.
No, and that's completely fine because they've done this by themselves. Yeah. And it looks like they have trusted grounders before, and they've gotten it just didn't end up well for them. Yeah. And it has jaded them, and it's a thing. Just like the grounders were not a fan of Sky People. Yeah. Like, they were just like, no, we have to kill them. Yeah. So I get it. It's there, but I don't like that they're riling people up.
Well, but I also get that as well, because essentially it's old-timey war tactics, especially, and by old-timey, I mean, it's what we do now, in that, like, if we were in a war with someone, and, take Japan, for example, after World War II, they essentially lost. Yep. And then we were like, we're gonna put a bunch of soldiers in your town. You guys cool with that? No, not at all.
No. Well, too bad.
I mean, and that's essentially how it's seen from Farm Station side and all the grounder side, or not the grounder side, but like the other Sky Crew.
There you go. Thank you, Sky Crew. Yeah.
So I definitely understand that perspective, and I definitely understand why Pike is getting so much momentum with the other people, in that they're all being driven by fear.
And they just lost a lot of their family, especially the guy who threw, it looked like, I couldn't tell if it was a rock or a bowl or something of that nature, an object at Lincoln's head that caused pretty much him to go into like a tiny concussion. That was kind of crazy. But I love that that's the other thing that, again, I don't want to bring like race and everything into it, but that's, the fact that there's a lot of people who've gone through hate just like this, and a lot of them will either retaliate, which is kind of what Pike's doing to a point, but Lincoln decided, no, if I fall, I get back up, and he didn't. I mean, Octavia was like, did he do this? Like, did someone do this? Did Farm Station do this? And he was just like, don't worry about it, and he didn't press charges. Yeah. You can see the difference in people when it comes to that, and that's what I love about the show, is that they bring that up of like, Lincoln can tear up everybody in Farm Station, I don't care who you are, but he decided to be the better man and just go, no. Yeah. I mean, he did stand up for himself at that point in time where they were about to leave, and he almost killed somebody, but he didn't, because he could have just went, all right, go ahead, bring it on, and he was like, he hesitated. Yeah. And I'm proud of him for that.
Yeah, I mean, he's come a long way, and like he's now part of Arcadia.
Yeah, whether he's a grounder or not, he's just a person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he's looking out for the best. He's looking out for the best of all of them. He's
Yeah.
basically the Lincoln between the two sides.
Oh, get out!
Lincoln.
I hate it so much.
Log
But-
that one in the Lincoln log.
what is happening?
Oh, yeah. All right, Alexis has left, so it's just my show now. I'd like to talk about how smart the writing is in this regard, in that it's definitely reflecting things that are currently happening in our world.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
mean-
there is a must-read section in this chat. I don't know
Oh,
if you
yeah?
want me to read it or not. It's up to you.
What is it?
It says must-read part 1. Pike is Hitler.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's the theory, and then that's what he's writing. Do you want me to read it?
Sure, yeah. I was just getting into that.
Yeah, sure.
Do it.
Pike, who is racist against grounders, is going through the exact same steps Hitler did to rise to power, as in exactly what he did by the book. First, Hitler had some bad experiences with Jews. Ooh, I just went all the way up. Oh, I lost it. Oh, wait, nope, I found it.
Sweet.
Bad experiences with Jews fueled his hatred when the Ice Nation attacked. I would put an Avatar joke, but that's too easy. Second, he started hosting speeches at important events.
Yep.
Yeah. Where he would scapegoat large groups of people, same way Pike did at the funeral. And then there's a part 3 down here somewhere, if I can find it. There's 5. We're not going to be able to get through this, but we get it.
But yeah. I mean, yeah, the parallels are there. He's definitely using everyone's fear and hatred of the Grounders to forward his agenda, which essentially puts him in the chancellor's seat.
Yep. I'm so upset about that. Mostly just because he was playing to his advantages of the fact of having Kane show his mark that he was part of the 13 clan, because they already knew that they were already upset about the Grounders. So the fact that they made the guy who was running for chancellor a technical part of Grounder Nation, even though that's not what that meant.
Yeah.
And then Abby wasn't doing a good job already. So who are you gonna pick? Obviously Pike.
Yeah.
So why not? And I hate that Bellamy is just like, I'm already on the winning side. And I was like, shut up. Shut up. You can go float yourself, you piece of crap. I'm so mad. I'm so upset.
He made a choice.
And he's going to regret it, obviously,
Well, of
which again,
course.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But good job, John. And I know that we were comparing it to, you brought it up, which I was thinking about, was that we were going to compare him to Trump, but this is not a politics show, so we're not going to get into it.
Trump or anyone who essentially marginalizes a specific
Big word.
group in order to not even just to further their agenda, but out of hatred and fear, who essentially takes a small grouping, a small sample of people, and are saying this applies to everyone. I said Trump specifically because their fear is it's relevant right now, and their fear is all based on like a terror attack, essentially.
Yeah.
And so now this terror attack has caused people to turn on one another and become insanely paranoid, and they gravitate towards a leader
who is already for
uses
it.
that and feels that fear, but in a non-constructive way.
Yeah. And it's just something that obviously, again, I'm not going to get on anybody, because this is not the type of show where we're like, if you like Trump, you're a piece of crap.
No,
that's not it. If you believe in Trump's statements, that's on you and that's your own opinion, that's all for you.
Right.
And then we have our own. So just wanted to clarify that, just in case if you're like, oh, you guys are Trump hating jerks. No. We just have our opinions, you have yours, and you are entitled to that.
Right.
So, whoever gives you crap for it, they're obviously, just don't worry about it.
Yeah,
but
we're not
that's
chastising.
not it.
It's an open editorial.
Yeah, we talk about everything, and that's what we want. We want all opinions, all beliefs, all that kind of stuff. We just want to talk about it and bring it all into perspective. But that was the one comparison that I agreed with on that one.
Yeah.
At least. But yeah, so it looks like Pike's going to be the chancellor. He already made demands immediately being released and being picked as chancellor, which you guys should have seen Tari's face. He was just like, you can't do that.
No, you can't. You can't just be like, I decree all the. Especially if you were elected by votes, you can't just start making all these.
Even
decrees.
the president can't even do that.
Yeah, there are checks and balances, bro.
You see how my check? Sorry, I was about to go into a Kevin Hart joke, and I was like, this is not the time. But yeah, no, I completely but I completely agree with the fact that he's so full of himself, and he was so sure that this was going to end up happening. He's just like, all right, now that you put the pin on me, this is what's going to happen, and you're going to like it. And I'm like, No, that's not how that works. You need to at least abide. You just got here. So how dare you sit there and be like, oh, now that I'm ruler, because I've been here for 3 days, you can go float yourself. You can go float yourself. You're cool. You can go float yourself. This is what I do. I'm like, get out of here.
No, it's insane.
You're a piece of giant duty.
I think what
God,
hit me
I wish
the
that
most
was
about it.
this was an adult show. I swear to God. There'd be so many bleeps. Okay, sorry. Continue.
I think what frustrates me the most about it is that we had just finished up a really heroic scene where we got rid of a big obstacle to peace.
Yep.
And then he goes.
You just ruined it.
Yeah. It's one step forward, 2 steps backwards, which makes for good TV, but makes for really frustrating character development. So, I mean,
I actually don't have words right now. I've hit that point of I'm so speechless because I wish you guys, I know I keep referencing that. I wish you guys saw my face, but literally I was in tears because I knew that this was going to be so bad.
Yeah.
And they didn't even know what they were signing up for. I mean, Pike knows because he's very no, this is the correct way, and you can be part of it or not.
Yeah.
But it's going to lead to so much death that it actually makes me sick. It's so bad. I know I'm talking these are actual people, but
yeah,
it's so bad because people have done these decisions before. We know from history, and we never learn from history.
Right.
But in general, at least with the TV show, it's just it's so real it kind of hurts. So I apologize for my weird rant, but
no,
yes.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think what's funny to me is that the fact that you can elect someone who was just arrested for treason.
Oh my God, it blows my mind.
Yeah. Was he a write-in vote? Everyone was just Pike. It's got to be Pike.
Maybe they got everyone into a room and was like, okay, who wants Abby? No one? Great.
Yeah.
Kane?
One guy.
Yeah, it was there's one guy. Woo! All right, Bill, we got you. All right, for Pike, everybody. I mean, there has to be people who probably don't agree with Pike because there have been grounders on site before, so
Yeah.
if they're okay with it, what's the big deal?
Right.
And people didn't know Farm Station as well as certain people, so there's obviously that too.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so crazy to me. So there might have been a divided vote, but there's probably at least a few
Right.
more now than there was before that
Okay.
voted for Pike. So I think it was not unanimous, but it was pretty close to being. I mean, it was probably pretty bad.
All right.
Yeah.
So I feel like the rest of the should head towards prediction. But before we do that, in honor of Ben Bateman, I decided to start a new segment for you fans as well. It's called The Lighthouse, where we take a look at...
Oh my God, we didn't talk about that. Sorry.
Yeah,
I forgot that we didn't see Murphy or Jaw or anybody or even Raven, which I feel like you were going to bring up.
It's actually, The Lighthouse is all about people's ships.
We need to talk about ships.
Yes.
Oh, I hate you so much. I
Yes.
just got that. You can go ahead. I'm just going to be quiet and be really upset
No,
right now.
this is our time to go through the different ships and update where they are.
Lighthouse.
Yeah.
So mad.
The
at you right
Lighthouse.
now. So mad. At you right now. So upset.
So,
Okay.
so the update of Clexa, or Lexark, if you will, they had a hot, steamy, tense moment.
Dressing the wound moment. What's up
Yeah.
with Clark and dressing wounds? Is that like a new thing?
Dressing.
Oh God! Now I'm
so
hungry for a salad. Okay,
That's
sorry.
still a thing. Let's see. Bellark, which is a common ship.
We didn't get much
not
of that.
a thing.
Not a thing. At least right now, not a thing.
Cabby. I mean, there's still, they have a great relationship, and it's a thing.
I mean, obviously they're going to be even stronger together now because they pretty much. Oh, I love that Kane was so upset to put the pin on. Oh, so upset. I was like, yeah, you better feel bitter about that because it sucks. I'm okay. I'm fine. Everyone's talking about Clexa. Please talk about Clexa. It's,
Yep.
Wow.
Clexa.
Yeah, we know it was a thing. I love it because I even had a Ben Bateman moment. We're like, did you guys feel like they were gonna kiss? We love you, Ben Bateman. But yeah, no, it did seem like a tense scene because it looked like they were about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like it was nighttime, like after a good victory, and she was helping her out, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, probably not, and it didn't.
Yeah.
Again, happy that it wasn't a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it felt like Lexa came in and was like, I'm gonna get some post-fight friendship, and then Clark was like, hey, I hope you get some rest.
Good night.
Yeah. We've already Netflixed Go chill in your own place.
Oh, burn. But I love that you can see the emotion from Clark's eyes when Clexa, see?
Yeah.
It's like a thing. Lexa's win today.
Yeah.
And the fact that they killed, like, she was very worried, obviously, but you could see, like, her eyes welling up, that she was like, oh my God, you made it. Yay. And again, I'm happy that they're having this moment now. And then we're going to further that into the show. I hate that happiness couldn't carry on to the Arcadia people,
Right.
because dear God, it's going to be terrible next episode.
It's going to be real sad. So that brings it into the Lighthouse. Let's jump into predictions.
Woo!
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Didn't see what time it was. Whoa.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
So, do you have anything for us, Alexis?
Well, I had to like replay the preview for next week, because seeing all the bodies in the meadow. Oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna cry right now. I apologize if it's gonna happen. It wouldn't hurt me as much, because if it was like an Ice Nation thing, I'd be like, that sucks that you decided to go against the grain and do it, but at least you did it for a good cause. You literally just killed hundreds of people because you don't like them.
Yeah.
It is so, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. It was just so heart-wrenching to watch Octavia walk through all these dead bodies and see Clark and Lexa come up on the hill and see it, and seeing Indra holding her arm or whatever, and really thinking, holy crap, you just killed our only saving grace because you're so angry right now.
Yeah.
For no reason. It was so, I literally took off my headphones, and I sat there and I'm like, this show has gotten me. I mean, it already got me day one, but I am so invested in the fact that I just lost people that I don't even freaking know.
Yeah.
And I think Bellamy is feeling the same way. So I think he's going to obviously not go along with the ride, and he's going to try to get everyone back in his corner, in that corner, but I feel like it's gonna take him some time, and Octavia's definitely not gonna be with because remember how their relationship was coming back as brother and sister. That's cut completely.
Yeah, of course.
Completely. And I think Octavia and Lincoln are finally gonna leave.
Okay.
After this, because holy crap.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's no way.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what Clark's gonna do though. That I'm a little surprised. I don't know if you have a theory for that. But
I would say that I think that the whole incident with the 300 soldiers is going to cause.
300 soldiers?
It was 300 that were hanging out.
Oh God, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, it's
I didn't
terrible.
realize how many people were in there.
Yeah, it's the same
God.
as when they did the culling, basically.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But I think that it's going to cause a giant rift in the coalition, in that now everyone who is following Lexa is confirmed that she made the wrong decision in trusting the Sky People. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's going to be a big piece of next episode.
Yeah, I mean, because we were always talking about how Lexa, we didn't know if she was going to keep her promise to the Sky Crew.
Yeah.
This might, I mean, I have a I feel like since Indra knows Pike, that she'll try to convince Lexa, like, this is not all of Sky Crew's fault. It's just this one group.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Lexa will listen. But I also agree with you. I don't think it's gonna bode well for her. And then Clark's gonna have to get back up there, and then maybe that'll lead to romance at one point, because it'll be so heated, and maybe, I don't know. I'm not trying to like root for it. Not saying that I don't want Clexa to be a thing.
The lighthouse is over.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm not trying to say that Clexa shouldn't be together. They should. I'm just saying I don't want the romance this quickly. I want to wait. I want it to build up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So just kind of like what we did with season 2, where it kind of took a while, and then So
all right.
yeah, I just think woof. Is all. That's literally like the term that I had was woof.
Yeah.
And tears.
It's going to be a crazy episode.
I'm very excited, and I'm happy to have for a full panel next week about it, because it's going to be emotional.
Oh yeah.
So I will bring tissues.
Yeah. Make sure to join us next week here on AfterBuzz TV. Where can they find you, Alexis?
You can find me all over social media at atorres890. Guys, I'm trying to make new sections for my YouTube channel. I'm doing a thing called Hump Day Lunch Hour. It's where every Wednesday I sit in my car, because that's where I eat lunch, and I'll just be talking about random topics that I just talked about today, or something that happened during the week, or something like that, or what I want for the rest of the week, the weekend, whatever. And I just want you guys to just check that out. You guys can check it out in youtube.com/atorres890 or ps890.
Nice.
Thanks.
And I'm Tari J. Miller. You can find me on Twitter at Tari J. It's TAURIJAY. And thanks again for joining us. We hope you had a wonderful night. We hope you enjoyed the discussions. Make sure to keep the conversation going with us on Twitter and at the hashtag ABTV100.
Don't forget to follow Ben Bateman at Ben Bateman Media and Aaron Lane at Love Aaron Lane.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Stay grounded.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.